so low. Yeah. Girl, you got me restless. I got to know, don't keep me waiting. Said I love in motion, let's go. I can be yours. I don't know where we'll go from here. So let's feel what we wanna feel.
Hey. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you might be. A quick impromptu live stream. I never go live at this time or this day, so it'll probably be a quiet one. Just want to go over King of the Table a little bit. I promised in a community tab, in a community message, that I'd be going live during the week to make up for the missed live last Sunday. Usually I go live on Sunday evening, but yeah, I figured I might as well go live before King of the Table and maybe do a little prediction live stream or something like that. Hey Corruptus, I don't think I've seen you before, Corruptus, in the live stream. Yeah, we might have a little bit of a different audience today, since usually I go live tomorrow evening. Yes, of course, there's a familiar face, says, hey Arm Historian, I just woke up, can't miss this though. That's, I appreciate it a lot. Yes, of course. Thank you for tuning in this morning to you. It's already 4:30 in the afternoon here. Hope you had a good rest. Pagwachi, says Kalina wins. Yeah, so, I did this one before. There's a guy on Reddit who's running a prediction contest. There's not really a prize or anything, really. But yeah, it's just for fun, for honor. And I kind of sourced it out to the chat last time, and I thought maybe I can do the same today. Let me see if I can pull it up here for you guys, so you can follow along. Everyone looking forward to the event? Probably gonna watch it with a couple of training partners. Although I won't be doing any table time today, as I have a pretty big tournament next week. Want to take some time off. Corruptus says, do you think Auden versus Korean Hulk will be a murder for Korean Hulk? Like a murder as in Korean Hulk takes it, or like Korean Hulk gets murdered by Auden? It's very tough to say, right? It's one of those matches where it's really difficult to predict. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's a good match. That's all I can say about that particular match. I hope Korean Hulk puts up a good fight and kind of shows that he knows what he's doing, despite what people might think. So yeah, the event is currently 2.5 hours away, just about. Corruptus says he gets murdered since the leverage comparison in a video together was big. Yeah, I'm sure Auden has way bigger leverage, of course. If you just see them next to each other, kind of enough to know, right? But it's still difficult to say, right? It's not necessary that the guy with the longest levers wins, necessarily. Plenty of examples of way shorter guys. Just look at Sasho, right? Kinda dominates his class. Really short guy too. Hey, Tomer says live stream at 3:30 is not normal. Yeah, I know. I kinda promised in the community tab some time ago that I would make up for the missed live stream last Sunday. I was finishing up the Rise and Fall episode. By going live an extra time this week, so I figured I'd go live now. Kind of an impromptu live. I found an hour of free time today, so why not, right? Check in with you guys, maybe do some predictions. I might run a poll, I don't know. If it's just like 10 people or something, I don't see much of a use in a poll necessarily. I'd just much rather talk to you guys. Yeah, but this is, like I said, kind of the prediction contest a guy set up. And we could fill it in together. I'm very curious about you guys' thoughts on some of these matches. Like this one, the Kacper versus Nadelin match. Who are these people? I mean, I've seen Kacper Sinica or Sinica or however you pronounce it. I've seen him before. But I don't think I've ever seen Nadelin Hristov. I think we looked these guys up last time, but I'm not sure. I'm sure they're competent pullers. Hey, Jesse Pullen says, who do you think Camille should pull if he wins? If he wins against Morozov? Tough question. Vitali, maybe? I don't know where Gennady is at, if he's able to pull again, but maybe Gennady. Someone like that. Corruptus says, whose arm is that wearing the suit? It is my arm, in fact, Corruptus. It's my face you're talking about there. Yes, of course, says, to be fair, Sasho has been active. Hard to know what an unactive Korean Hulk can do. Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying Korean Hulk will destroy Auden by any means. I probably give the edge to Auden. But I just want to be a good match, you know, I wouldn't count him out. He's done some stuff on the table before, although it's been some years. Archdog says, how did you get your questions to Jake for King of the Table? Yeah, that's another funny story. I didn't approach them, they approached me. They wanted to approach some content creators, and I think Coach Ray, who I have a friendly relationship with, I would say, thought of me and asked me. So yeah, there you go. That's how those questions got there. But the funny part, Aussie arm wrestler kept referring to me as arm wrestling historian, which is, it's close to correct, right? It's not my name. It's not the name of my channel, but it's close. Even though I know Aussie arm wrestler pretty well. I've met him in real life and stuff. Pakwaji says, the King of the Table foul system is ass. Yeah, they're doing running fouls, right? Yeah. I don't know, running fouls, to me, they've always been a pretty hard thing to get right. To like, tune all the way. To get them to a point where you're not sitting there going like, what the fuck just happened, right? Yes, of course, says, oh yeah, Kacper competed earlier this year against Alan Ford. Alan won 3-2. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know Alan's current level. But that gives me some information at least. The hitman, Alan Ford. Wonder where he's at right now. As far as arm wrestling. Tomer says, I don't think it's a fair match for Morozov. Last year he almost had a match with Levon, and now he had a match with a guy who lost to MMT. Yeah, I get you. On the other hand, like, what can you do, right, if someone pulls out? You need someone on short notice, and I think a lot of the top guys don't really want to pull on such short notice. Jack Hanma says, Brian Shaw versus Mindaugas. I'd like to see it just to like see the freak factor of the match. Brian Shaw should take it, right? Maybe he wouldn't, I don't know. I guess it depends on like the reffing and kinda how strict it is and how many rounds they're doing and stuff. Because I think if it's just one round or something and it's a very strictly reffed match like WAF or something, probably I would give the edge to Mindaugas. I don't know if we would even get to a ready go before Brian would fall out. Sweden Arm Wrestling Television has been a member for 12 months, which is crazy to think about. I should return the favor, actually. I've been meaning to do that, but for some reason keep forgetting. Says 1 year enjoying the history lessons from the arm historian. You're very welcome, Sweden Arm Wrestling Television, and thank you, of course, for being such a loyal supporter of this channel. You know I like your stuff a lot. Jack Hanma says, half running fouls, half stop restart fouls, Pakwaji running fouls, and Sweden Arm Wrestling Television, you really are everywhere. Yes, he is. Very active member of the community. Very awesome channel. You should definitely check him out if you haven't already, but yeah, it's hard for me to think that you haven't. Archdog says Hitman just pulled RVJ. He lost though, yeah. So confirming here what another chat member said. Yeah, interesting. I don't know anything about the other guy. Nadelin is his name. No clue. But what do you guys think? So probably we should give the edge to Kacper just because he's like a known entity, right? I wonder what kind of score. I'll put it right now at 4-1, right, for Kacper, something like that. But we can change it. Sweden Arm Wrestling Television says, I also got asked to do questions for the press conference, but I wanted to make it fun with the questions I asked. Yeah, you had a couple of good ones in there too, Sweden Arm Wrestling Television. I try to tailor mine a little bit sometimes to my channel, and the one that hit the most for me of my questions during the press conference was definitely the one asked to RVJ. I kind of knew it would get under his skin a little. I've met RVJ in real life and we've talked a little bit back and forth. I don't think he likes me that much. But that's fine. I wanted to get under his skin a little with the question. Rooney86 says, how long until it starts? Let's check on the countdown. 2 hours and 17 minutes till the event starts. You can watch that at Core Sports, of course. Tomer says, Brian Shaw has a confirmed match with Eddie Hall. I think this is ridiculous because Brian beat Eddie with no experience. So say they both get 10% better, then Brian still wins just as easy. Yeah. Like, I've seen the match announced, and I agree that it's probably going to be a pretty easy win for Brian Shaw. I think. You know, Eddie Hall is like, he's kind of connected to Neil Pickup and like Tom Holland and the guys training in the UK. So I think he does have access to pretty high level training partners. So if he wants to, I think he could improve quite a bit in a short amount of time. But other than that, I can't really complain about that match happening because both those guys have a significant following, and a lot of the people that follow them are not at all involved with competitive arm wrestling, barely know anything about the sport. So if we somehow could get even a percentage of those people over, I think that would be great for the sport. So I think it's great that they're doing the match, to be honest. It's my opinion. No worries, Rooney. That's what I'm here for. Yes, of course, I think 4-1 is fair when you have a relative unknown against someone we kinda know. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Jack Hanma says, do you remember Sab the Bee? I do remember Sab the Bee. Wonder if he's still around somewhere. One day I'd like to do a video on like all the meme stars of the arm wrestling world. Would be nice. Bakwaji says, match is just for promotion and to get Brian his first super match. Yeah, makes sense to me. Like I said, I don't have anything against the match. I know a lot of people have strong opinions on it, but I think you need to, as like a die-hard fan, the fact that you're here in my live stream probably means you're a pretty big arm wrestling fan. So we just need to maybe take a step back and realize that a lot of people aren't that deeply entrenched in the sport, and in order to get them here to where we are at, we need to kind of guide them in here, right? And I think a match like Eddie Hall versus Brian does that to a degree, or has the potential to do that. Tomer says Neil and Eddie already have a loose relationship because Neil commentated at Giants Live when Eddie lifted the 500 kilograms. Yeah, they actually know each other quite well. They've done arm wrestling training videos together. So yeah. I've also seen Eddie train with Tom Holland, I believe. So that's also a really good, active, experienced puller of a high level to have around. Also just a nice and chill guy in real life. Pakwaji says, but imagine Eddie gets into arm wrestling heavily also. Then we have 2 former world's strongest men competitors on the roster and many more eyes on the sport. I agree. I only see upside for these kinds of matches. It might not be the most appealing match from like an arm wrestling purist point of view. But I think if they both take it at least somewhat seriously, it's a good thing for the sport. Jack Hanma says, yeah, I had gotten like 30 people into arm wrestling for my school. That's good to hear, man. Doing your part. That's what I'm trying to do with this channel, although I guess the kind of content I make usually appeals to people who are already into arm wrestling. Tomer says, Eddie did a video with Devon a few years back, but as far as I'm aware, they didn't do any arm wrestling on camera or behind the scenes. Yeah, I don't know, probably they did do some arm wrestling. It's hard to imagine they didn't. Like, Eddie would at least ask Devon to kind of feel him, right? But Eddie has done arm wrestling in the past. Nothing extensive, of course, but he has done some. Jack Hanma says, Dennis was a former strongman too. Just started earlier. True. That's true. Dennis, one of the people I'm sure to do a video on, not too long in the future. Jack Hanma says, we conduct like tournaments in my school and in my street too. That's awesome, man. Tall Paul, how you doing, Tall Paul? Good to see you, man. Says, that hurricane got my internet all jacked up, but I'll stay long as it'll let me. Howdy all. I hope you're safe. I hope everyone's fine. It's not too much damage. Yeah, welcome, Tall Paul. Always good to have you, of course. Hey, Mr. Peanut, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Says, good morning. WAF Judgment Day event. It's live streaming now. Okay, haven't heard of that. So they're going live on the same day as King of the Table? Interesting. Is it a long event? Or is it like just some super matches or something? Let's move on to the next prediction here, which is Camille Jablonsky versus Artyom Morozov. Artyom should be favorite, right? What do you guys think here? I think there's enough people that we can do a quick poll in chat, right? Just to get like a sense of where people are at, and then we can discuss the more specific results in chat freely. But let's do a poll just to determine who do you think will win. So who do you have? Is it Morozov or is it Jablonsky? Tomer says about Dennis, just a question, why does he take the low grip? It's to protect his wrist flexion, but how does gripping low do that? I don't know, it's a good question. I think part of it, and this is just personal opinion, is just his hands and arm physiology, the way he pulls and the way kind of his body is built lends itself best to that kind of arm wrestling. I know I sometimes, when I'm facing opponents that are smaller than me or have smaller levers, I oftentimes grab pretty low just so they can't dump under my hand. So yeah, probably there's a multitude of reasons, but that's kind of my opinion. Sweden Arm Wrestling Television says, I think 4-2 or 4-1 Morozov. Yeah, I could see that. I could see like a 5-1. Yeah, I said 4-1, right? I could see like a 5-1 in Morozov's favor. Just because Camille, I think, can be fast, and once he gets that press set, it's probably pretty hard to counter. Especially at the start if you haven't felt him yet. So I could see Morozov dropping a round or two. Mr. Peanut says 6 tables running at WAF. 3 live streams covering all 6 tables. Okay, the usual WAF live streams. Jack Hanma says, I think Dennis is just forced low because of his super thick hands as well. Yeah, there you go. I was thinking in kind of the same fashion there. Yes, of course, says this match is hard for me. I don't think Morozov can hook as fast as Ivan, so it might give Camille some chance to get into a press. Yep, that's a good point. I think Matushenko is an especially quick puller, quick off the go. So that makes a lot of sense to me, what you're saying. Seems like Chad is leading towards Morozov, which isn't a surprise, but Camille is still getting 38% of the votes, which is not insignificant. Devon Slayer says, which I believe is Granny Soup Ladle, right? Not sure. Says that Dennis can grip low and high at the same time. Yeah, good point there. All you need is your thumb, right, to pronate. Jack Hanma says, WAF and King of the Table, like that competition via Rysek and East versus West. Yeah, it's weird to me that they're going live at the same time or on the same day. But there you go. Morozov would need to show something new to win. Camille is too fast, says Granny Soup Ladle. Sorry, should I refer to you now as Levant Slayer 69? Or should I include the X's? Granny. Hit that like, says Archdog. Yeah, if you can, take a moment to hit the like button. I won't be live for too long, as I've got other stuff to do. But yeah, I wanted to go live just to get you guys' thoughts on the event. Also because I promised. Sabin Bablachu, that sounds good. See by your profile picture that you're a big Sabin fan, right? That's probably why you're called Levant Slayer too. So yeah, what are we thinking? We've established that Morozov will win. I'll end the poll there. What are we thinking the result? I think the 4-1 is a reasonable guess here too. Although it's, I don't know, I feel like sweeps happen more often statistically than 4-1s. I think 4-1 might be one of the least common results statistically, so maybe we're better off just voting 4-0. Hard to say. Tomer says, I think Morozov is just too strong, don't get me wrong. Camille is a big guy, but in terms of just musculature, Morozov is bigger. Yeah. Because he just kind of babbles at chooses. Says, Sabin Bablachu. Jack Hanma says, feels weird that both Morozov and Camille lost to Vitaly, but Morozov feels like heavy favorite to me. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Morozov, I think, is at a pretty high level if he brings his A game. I think he's shown that in the past. He's also a pretty resilient puller, and he often comes back from taking a couple pins, so maybe I should vote 4-2 here in Morozov's favor. I think I'm gonna do that. Just Morozov has a tendency to kind of come back, right, after taking a few pins. Yeah. It's either 4-2 or 4-0, what I'm gonna pick here, but I'm not quite sure yet. He also got hurt in center versus Sprutnik, that's true. Corey West versus Camille Jablonsky on the left arm. This time Camille's second match of the night. What are we thinking here? I'll do a quick poll, just to get an idea here. Let's go West versus Jablonsky. On the left arm, keep that in mind when you're voting. Another match that's very hard for me to predict. Like, could be a sweep either way in my mind. I think this is one of the harder matches to predict, honestly. Jack says Camille might win, but I heard Corey had a strong king's move on the left. Interesting. Tomer, I think Morozov's left is very good, if not better than his right. I believe. Adib says, so you jerk off with your mouth, which is hand, respectively. No, I have heads on my arms, so I just use that. You can use your own imagination to fill in the blanks. So yeah, probably really hard to say, right? Corey's head is 2 times the size of Camille. Yeah, I'm sure that'll help him. Hard to predict his card. Everything is sold out on Armbet except Auden. Yeah, it is very hard to predict. I think that either means they're really good matches or really bad matches, right? Adib says, I can understand, that's good. Like a man with some imagination. Hey, Gertillen, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Are you joining us later this evening? Gert, one of my in real life friends. Yeah, it is close to a 50-50 split right now. Yes, of course, as Corey said, he's very versatile on his left and he's got 4 rounds to figure something out. Yeah, that's true. I wonder if he practiced a lot of presses with, like Michael KOTT, pressing him. Friendly Face also got bless the people who bet on Leo. You never know, man. Gertillen is not sure if he can make it tonight. That's fine. Let me know. You're always welcome, Gert. We're not gonna arm wrestle. We're gonna take training off tonight, but we are gonna watch King of the Table. There's a tournament coming up next week, so we're kind of taking it easy. Okay, it looks like Jablonsky is taking the win here. With very few votes though, but he's taking the win. I'll just do 4-0 Camille Jablonsky, then follow chat. I'll just follow chat's lead here. Next match. Excuse me. Next match, Rob Vigeant Jr. versus Nugo Chikadze. These guys have been going back and forth quite a bit on the trash talk. Let's see who chat has here. Is it RVJ? Or is it our dear friend Nugo? Corey seems relatively lean, says Jack Hanma. Yeah, you're stretching the meaning of the word relative there, but I get what you mean. He does look, relative to his former forms, he does look lean. That's true. Deep says, question, Devon pinned rarely or sometimes only his opponents, and mostly making them quit, lose round, excluding some pins, like flash pins, 1 round, Dennis and Hermes. Right hand matches, okay. I don't really see a question in there, but yeah, you're right. You're saying that Devon is lacking side pressure, and that's making, like, adopt that kind of arm wrestling? Maybe. I don't know if that's the cause. I haven't felt Devon on the table, and if I did feel him on the table, I'm sure it would be like him holding thin air. So I don't even think I would be able to glean much from that, even if I could hold him on the table, even if I could feel him on the table. So yeah, I don't know, really hard to say. I can only speculate. It might be that's the reason. Might just be because he's more comfortable in the other positions and knows he's stronger in the other positions than a lot of his opponents. So he just chooses to challenge him there. Not so much a lack of side pressure necessarily, maybe, although that might be the case, but maybe just more of a knowing what he's good at and trying to get there by any means necessary, right? Nugo's 100 kilogram partial curl video is pretty impressive. I haven't seen that, but that is quite a big weight for such a relatively small guy. Nadelin says RVJ for the win. I'm sure he'd love to hear that. I believe Gert also had the pleasure of meeting RVJ in real life. Although RVJ by that point was admittedly quite drunk. But I think so were we, so kinda evened out. It's scary to gain center quickly, dangerous, very true. If you spend any amount of time in a competition, you'll notice. Jack says in Devon's position, his back pressure is his side pressure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, I think. If you pull a lot in the straps, you'll start noticing that you can kind of stop your opponents going sideways just by hitting your back pressure. And I'm kind of keeping your hand alive, your pronation alive. Tomer says I need to go. Leo is gonna lose like Devon predicts. For hard matches, Devon is usually more reserved and more serious, like for Denis Lavanganati, but when Devon plays around, he's probably gonna win. Yep, maybe. Hope you have a good rest of your day, Tomer. Thanks for dropping by. Nadelin did meet him. We were all drunk. True. True. I think in that room that night, you would just get drunk by osmosis, just by walking around there from the fumes. Levon Saganashvili from the future, how you doing, man? Good to see you, welcome. Sweden Arm Wrestling Television says, I'm really happy that RVJ is on the card. Yeah, me too. Love it that he's getting more high-profile matches. School Ladyboy in the house, how you doing? Keep loving that name. Yes, of course, says I want RVJ to either win or not make the match look difficult for Nugo. But Nugo is coming in more fresh, so the odds are in his favor. Yeah. I see Chad is kind of on the fence here, so I'll make it a close one. They do have... You guys do have Nugo winning, so I'll give it a 4-3 for Nugo. There you go. I think that's a reasonable guess. Adib says, I don't stand a chance against Devon even for just a finger, but I can destroy Ryan Bowen in both hands. Sorry for trash English. No worries, Adib. Yeah. It's quite fine as long as I can understand you, which I think I can. It's all good. You can destroy Ryan Bowen in both hands. That's good. Levon says, can Leo get around? Good question. I don't know, we're arriving at that match pretty soon. We'll see what chat thinks. I'll end this one. The next one is Auden Larratt versus the Korean Hulk. Who do you have? I asked the Korean Hulk during the press conference, what do you think the level of elite Korean pullers is compared to the general world elite of arm wrestling? And he said that they're right there, that they're very close. So, interesting answer. I do have to scold Aussie Arm Wrestler for getting my channel name wrong during the questions. It's like the first time I'm ever mentioned in East First West Talking of the Table in like a very big production. And they got my channel name wrong, so... Hello? Am I back? Okay. I should be back, right? Yeah, okay, awesome. Something very weird happened. Really weird. It's like all the sound on my PC stopped working. Like no mic input, no desktop audio. Really weird. Okay, good. Deeps was a trash joke. But him pulling Ryan. Could be that you're a really great puller, Deep. We've had really great pullers in chat before. Yes, of course, as he might be right, the Korean pullers that have gone to Knuckles Up have looked pretty good, even in their losses. I'd love to see more Korean pullers. And Japanese pullers, for that matter. I know they're not the same, I'm aware. But I'm just saying, like, I'd love to see more pullers from Southeast Asia and those regions. I know the Philippines have a really big arm wrestling community. I'll be going there probably in not too long. And I think I can do some collabs with the guys over there to make some videos. Yeah, I don't know what the audio issues were. Really weird. I'm trying to figure it out. Cool background song, says Gertil, and you're talking about this one. I think it's like one of the most used, like copyright-free songs. I tried to curate kind of a live stream music list. It's not that easy to find really good copyright-free songs. I usually use songs that I've used in videos I've made, so. Hey, Begat Mohammed, how you doing? Good to see you. Pankai Pal says, what is your opinion about the rules meeting before the event? I don't know, it's not that interesting to me personally. I don't mind it. It's like an extra bit of promotion, right? They can throw out there. But yeah, I don't pay much attention to it. Proving Astrology, that's a name I haven't seen for a long time. It says, Devon talks about killing Leo, but he responded to my super chat that it would be about as close as a chance match. You think Leonidas can take a round? Yeah. I think it's possible. Certainly. I think he certainly has the strength. I don't know if he will. I'm not saying for sure that he will, but I think it's possible. Lorito says, what is the location of King of the Table 12? I think Dubai, right? Dubai again. There was talk about them doing it in Poland for a while, but yeah, they decided not to at the end of the day. I don't know why. Sweden Arm Wrestling Television says, if Auden does not know how to deal with the strength of Jae Young, he's going to be in trouble. But I believe Auden has it if he stays calm and not let his nervousness get the better of him. That seems like a good assessment. It's really hard to say, right? Like, what level is the Korean Hulk at? Like, I think, obviously, if the strength gap is big enough, I don't think Korean Hulk is without a chance. A lot of people are looking at the height difference and just kind of making their conclusions based on that, but I don't think it's as straightforward as that. Not quite. Adeep says, arm wrestling lacking match build talks during press conference, just mocking one another like children. Yeah, kind of depends on your sensibilities, right, Adeep? I agree more can be done, and like the press conferences can definitely be improved. I don't mind trash talk per se if it's done in kind of a good way. I think as long as athletes stay kind of true to themselves, right? They can be exaggerated versions of themselves, but as long as they bring something that's a little unique to themselves, I'm happy. They can be very respectful and even shy or whatever. But yeah, as long as they're genuine to a degree, I don't mind it. Or at least entertaining, right? They don't even have to be genuine, really. Begat Mohammed says, how much time left? I can't wait. Let's take a look. 1 hour and 48 minutes and about 45 seconds, to be precise. Geertilden says, I'm writing and it works well as background. Awesome. Good to hear, Geert. What are you writing? You can PM me if you want. But, you know, I'm always interested in what you're writing. Hey, McFarvo in the house. How you doing, McFarvo? One of our most dedicated commenters and supporters. Good to see you, man. Enjoy the event today. Yeah. Are you watching it, McFarvo? In which case, I hope you enjoy it too. Jack Hanma says Korean Hulk is gonna need 2 riser platforms. Yeah, that's another good point. He's gonna be able to use a riser. I hope he does. Maybe it's part of his strategy to be as small as possible against Auden, and he won't use a riser. Although I think it would be foolish. Really weird. I think like my... Okay. So I think I pinned down what the sound issues were. And it's my OBS. I think my OBS crashed to a degree. Hang on. Like OBS is the... For those that don't know, is the software I'm using to go live. Okay. I think that should fix it, right? Yeah, here we go. Okay, good. OBS working again. McFarvo says, I think Auden slips 2 straps. Auden stays way outside and top rolls for the win. Would be, yeah, if he's smart, he would do that, right? I think a lot will depend on Korean Hulk's hand and wrist strength. If you're quick off the go and you have a really good connection, and you're able to kind of pull someone towards you and turn them in, can be a really good defense, can eat someone's pronation up before they even know what to do. Toljan says Auden is too weak. Interesting, maybe he is, yeah. Sweden Armwrestling Television says height has a difference if you know how to use it efficiently. Example, look at Rustam Babayev beating opponents way taller and bigger than him. Yeah, I think there's plenty of examples in the arm wrestling world, right? Geertilden says a horror story. Interesting, Geert. I'd love to hear about that some more. So hit me up when you have some time. Levan Saganashvili from the future says, if the trash talk feels real, then it's good. Yeah, indeed. Rustam just insanely strong. Yeah, true. Jack Hanma says short arms can use very strong side pressure and flop, but their cupping will be weaker. Yeah, that makes a little sense to me. Although there's still people with short arms that have a really good cup, obviously. But yeah, I do agree that the ability to flop under someone can be a real ace in the hole. I've noticed that on the table myself, even at obviously a way lower level than these guys. Adib says, which is the best move or technique against a press? Kind of depends what kind of a press, right? Like if we have a guy that presses a lot in our training, and I feel like if I grab him low and I kind of take control of his wrist, yeah, he can't really go anywhere with his press, really. Heath says, why would being short make cupping weaker? Yeah. Another good point. I think just maybe because people in general that are shorter probably statistically are a little weaker than people who are less short. That's all I can think of. McFarvo says, or maybe they have a shorter hand in general, and that makes it harder for them to get into a good hand position where they can comfortably cup, something like that. I'm stretching here, but you know. McFarfo says, I just ran 26 kilometers. Now I'm taking my daughters out for lunch, but I'll be checking in on King of the Table if I can later today. Can't do a watch party though. Hope you all enjoy the pay-per-view. McFarfo, that seems like a perfectly good way to spend your day though. Yeah, taking your daughters out for lunch and working on your fitness seems like a great way to spend your day, honestly. Yeah, that's not what I mean, Heath, but there's a guy in chat who said people with shorter levers. Oh yeah, that's Jack Hanma, and he responded to you. Yeah. So that's what I kind of got out of it too. Gert Tillen says, will do, just started though. All good, Gert. You know where to find me. I can't really pronounce that name, I'm sorry. In Cyrillic, I think. Says, I think Auden will win just because of his height. I think they need to give Korean Hulk able to arm wrestle. Just telling my training partners that I'm live at the moment. They're asking me when are we meeting to watch King of the Table. So yeah, let's take a look at the poll results. It's been running for a long time. Auden Larratt seems to be the favorite here, 71% of you. I'll just put a 4-0 sweep for Auden Larratt. I think that's fair based on the chat results. Plus, I think we should get a couple of 4-0s in there because that is, at the end of the day, the most likely result, I think. Not for this match specifically, but for any match. Yeah. I think there's probably more clean sweeps than anything else. So I'll put 4-0 for Auden Larratt. There we go. Kalinichenko versus Tsvetkov. Who do we have here? Another interesting match. You know how earlier we were talking about having people in chat that could actually arm wrestle at a high level. And now we have a good friend of the channel, Reno Message here. There's a hi, can't wait for King of the Table 12. What's your favorite match on the card? Probably... That's a tough question actually, but I think RVJ versus Nugo. For some reason, that's my favorite match. Don't ask me why. I couldn't give you a good reason, I think. Hey, Kazazuri, good to see you, man. Hello, hello. One of the people I'll be watching the King of the Table live stream with. No, it is indeed Jae-young and not Chul-soon. 243 centimeters is tall. Yeah, that's certainly true, Jack. Heath says a young lion. What's good, Reno? Harkening back to the original title of my video on Reno. Nathan says Georgi for the win. Yeah. I think personally, probably Georgi has this. But I'd love for it to be a good match. But yeah, I do think Georgi has this at the end of the day. Yes, of course, is the way I see it. Kalina and Georgi might have similar back pressure, so I think it might come to a battle of hand control versus side pressure. Yeah, might be hand control in the corner of Tsvetkov. I think you're saying, right? I thought about Zeranov versus Laletin match, and I think Laletin is too much for Zeranov because Laletin is unhookable. I think they need to give Zeranov Artyom, I think you're saying there, because they are same strength. I think that could be a good match, yeah. I agree. Because Azuri has Georgi. Georgi has the good hand control if Kalino didn't train floppers. So yeah, it seems like most people have Tsvetkov here. I'll do another 4-0 for Georgi. Like I said before in other matches, I just hope it's going to be a good match. I can see this being a sweep, a clean sweep. I just hope it doesn't happen at the end of the day, but it does seem quite likely. Right now, at least. Though in arm wrestling, you can never know, right? Jack says, I think Engin will not give same country matches unless they are title matches. Yeah, although King of the Table, I don't think Engin has a lot to say on King of the Table. Tsvetkov probably is unhookable too because he's not comfortable. Yeah, might be the case. Heat says Kalina looks massive, would love to have those freakish proportions. Yeah, he does look kind of freaky. You're right there. I saw a picture of him on Reddit. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. That looked quite impressive. Perfect music for looking for something. Wait, I'll just pull up Reddit so you guys can look along with me. There we go. Yeah, this is interesting too. I saw this Eddie training arm wrestling, kind of. Kind of. I think it's in... Look at the height difference here. Crazy. Yeah, there you go. It does look massive. Has pretty long arms too. I think his levers were just about as long as Georgi's. Kertil says not even a competition, it seems. Yeah, it seems like chat has their minds pretty made up here. With 80% of you thinking Tsvetkov has this. Yeah, might be the case. East vs West is gonna be the best East vs West ever. Could be. Yeah, that's true, Jack. Maybe that's his style, right? Anmol Mishra says Kalina has less chance, 60-40 for Georgi. Yeah, I could see that. Another hour and 35 minutes until the event, not too long. I'll keep it at 4-0 Georgi, I think that's fair. Just because I want to get some sweeps in there. Nathan says, I'd like to see more of Kalina in super heavyweight moving forward. Yeah, I hope he doesn't overdo it too much. Where it becomes a problem for his health, because... Like, Kalina has a big frame, obviously. But some of these guys take it to the extreme and, I don't know. Just a personal thing, like they can do whatever they want, right? I don't have anything to say about what they do with their bodies, but... Yeah, I hope he doesn't take it too far. Heat says, I've been following Brian Shaw for 7 years. He's my favorite strongman and probably favorite athlete ever. Can he ever overcome strong guy syndrome? Be a good arm wrestler? I don't know. I think it all depends on how seriously he's taking it behind the scenes. He can talk to his camera all he wants about how seriously he's taking arm wrestling and how much he's training, but it's gonna show on the table whether or not he's actually being serious about it or not. Yeah, I agree. Eddie's probably not that versatile from a technical point of view. I mean, of course, as I've learned a little Cyrillic by looking at arm wrestlers' names, so I'm pretty sure the guy in chat is named Vasily. Yeah, now that you say that name, I mean, of course, thank you, by the way. That does ring a bell. I think he mentioned it before, so... Vasily says, Reno, I believe you will easily win Ibrahim Sagov. You both have the same technique, but you are stronger than Ibrahim. They're giving some support for Reno there. Jack says people really underestimate Georgi's endurance. Yeah, it's true. It's like one of those freaky, really big guys like Jerry Caderet, who also has good endurance. The lighter guys in the clubs I see are the most technical. Rarely you get a strong plus technical guy. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Just it's difficult during training if you're the strongest guy in your group. I think it's really difficult to focus on your technical ability specifically. You're just going to be holding a bunch. Anmol says, because of Georgi's injury, he was going down. He will go higher again. Yeah, could be. Probably is the case, right? I mean, he almost got his foot amputated, if we believe the stories. He says Brian Shaw probably is taking it seriously, but he has the same problem as Sauer. No one is strong enough to make him work technique. Yeah, might be the case. So yeah, our final match, Devon Larratt versus Leonidas, and then I'll probably hop off after this one. Who do you have? I still have to eat too. Before King of the Table. Or maybe I'll eat during. I don't know yet. I don't want to order. I kind of want to cook something healthy. Leonidas or Devon. Who do you have here? Remember, it's on the left arm. I'll reiterate that in the question. Yeah, get your votes in. It's our last prediction of the day. Thomas says, when does it start? It starts in 1 hour and 31 minutes. Hang on, maybe I can add something here, although I don't know if it's still worth it this late in the stream. There we go. There we go. That's clear, right? Why is this not working now? Here we go. Okay. Should have done that from the start. Nathan, are they doing the pre-show? Is it Core Sports or YouTube or both? I have no idea if they're doing a pre-show. I think they are, right? And there's a tournament too going on. I think they were talking about it. Leo might get one round. Maybe. I could see it happening. A says, does it start in 1 hour and 30 minutes? Yes, indeed. Well spotted. That's what I believe. Anmol Mishra says, buddy, you are doing so good. Reading each of the comments. Appreciate, man. No worries, Anmol. Sometimes I have other stuff planned, like specific stuff for live streams. Like we did an all-time prime fantasy league and stuff like that. Sometimes I have people on for interviews, although that doesn't happen that much. But yeah, then I obviously can't read chat as much. But yeah, usually when I go live, I try to interact with audience. That's kind of what I get out of it, right? Talking with our little corner here of the arm wrestling community. I go live every Sunday at about 9 or 8. I think 9 p.m. my time. So that's, what is that, like Central European time or something? 9 p.m. on a Sunday I go live. Kazazuri says, this will be a shit show. Devon is losing my interest because he can't ever pull like a normal guy. I will give this to Arcona just to shut Devon up. Yeah, and I think that's a growing sentiment among viewers, right? Vasily says, I sometimes forget about how massive Georgi is. He's taller than Levan, with a massive belly and still lighter than him. Yeah, true. Very big guy, but easy to overlook. McFarfo says, I think Devon's technical superiority will be enough even if Leonidas has some gym lifts specific to the sport over Dev. Yeah, I'm sure Leonidas does better in the gym, but I don't know. There's probably people that have like a better pronation lift, but that still can't, or that I can still pronate through, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just how good your lifts are, even if they are arm wrestling specific, doesn't necessarily translate 1-to-1 to the table. Just in my opinion. Nathan says, I think Devon will win 6-0, but it won't be as easy as he's letting on. Yeah, could be the case. Ninat says, tonight will be the movie Saturday Night Fever in arm wrestling. I like that title for arm wrestling throwback league. And yes, of course, Score Sports is doing the pre-show with 2 super matches from the tournament. Awesome, okay. Nathan says, I think they said there are 2 matches. Yeah, reiterating here. Good, thank you guys for informing me. Always good to have a knowledgeable chat. Devon used to beat Georgi in left hand too, true. Morozov will win 100%, says Ninat. Feminist, of course, says, to be fair, Georgi has almost no side pressure on the left arm. Georgi used to be 190 kilograms, if I remember right. How much does he weigh now? I think... Doesn't Kurdecha weigh something crazy like 180 or something? Or 160? Atlantis says, what up, gents? How you doing, man? Volunteering somewhere, but I'm going to let this lurk in my one earbus. But that's awesome, Atlantis. Atlantis always on the go, always busy. Really good to hear. It's actually motivating to hear that. Good on you, Atlantis. Hope you're doing well. You're coming in at the end of the stream, though, just a heads up. I think it's going to be another 5 minutes or something. Vasily says, I want to see Larratt versus Hermes rematch. How he will overcome Hermes with dominant back. Sure. Would be a good rematch. I'd watch it for sure. Because Azuri says, when are we gonna see YouTube super match Arm Historian versus... I'm down to pull like any other arm wrestling content creator. I'd love a match with Eastside Arm Wrestling. He'd be down for it. It's just that we're on opposite sides of the world, so it's kind of hard to organize. But if we ever meet at an event, or if we're ever in each other's neck of the woods, I'd love to organize a super match with him. Arm Wrestling News is another one that I'd love to own on the table. Yeah, there's a couple of people that I'd love to pull. I'd love to give Arm Wrestling Whisperer a shot, but yeah, we're totally different weight classes, so... Daisy, how you doing? Says, really curious to see what RVJ does today. Yeah, me too. People ask me what my favorite match is, and probably it's RVJ versus Nugo. Says he has struggled to perform well for the last few years on big stage. He may be done at his level due to the mental stress of it. I hope not, though. Yeah, I agree. I basically say as much in my Rise and Fall video on him. I don't think so, Jack, but maybe. No worries, Atlantis. Always good to have you here, man. Welcome. 02, how you doing? Yes, of course, Georgi had a botched shoulder surgery on his left. Oh yeah, so he did have one. They cut one of his nerves, damn. That's fucked up. 02 says, how much do you weigh? About 130 right now. Kilograms, that is. McFarfo says, I would love to see Arm Historian on the table against the Arm Wrestling Whisperer. Yeah, I'd love to see it, although, like I said, I'm sure he's maybe technically better than I am. But I just outweigh him by so much that I don't think it would be a match, really. Wouldn't be fair, but I'd still like to do it just for the views. Anmol Mishra says Leonidas held Prutnik in practice pretty well, and Prutnik beat David Dariakan, so you can guess Leo's level will not be easy for Devon, I'm sure. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it will be as easy as some people think. In fact, even though chat is saying 88% for Devon, I'll give a 4-1 prediction for Devon here. I'll give Leonidas 1 pin. You never know, right? So yeah, that pretty much concludes our predictions, right? I think we went over every match. So if you want to ask me something, if you want to talk about something arm wrestling related, get it in chat now before the closing of the stream, so to speak. Thank you either way for dropping by, guys. I appreciate it. I know it's not my usual day going live, but there's still quite a bit of you here, so I appreciate it. A lot of new names. I just want to give a quick plug. Like, you can watch me every Sunday live about 9 p.m. Central European time, so you can kind of convert it, but usually I put the stream notification on a couple of hours before. So yeah, we have a good time. We talk arm wrestling, we chill. We watch some stuff, some viewer submissions sometimes. Sometimes you have a guest on, but it's usually a really good time, at least for me it is. So yeah, if there's new people in chat that haven't watched me before, give me a watch or drop by on Sunday, feel free. Other than that, I make arm wrestling documentary style videos, quote unquote. Yeah, about the history of arm wrestling or specific pullers. Do kind of a deep dive on them. So feel free to check that out, give me your opinions. I'm always open to feedback, I'm always looking for it. Other than that, says let's take a look in chat really quickly before I end it for today. Jack Hanma says, Arm Historian, what category do you compete in? The super heavyweights. I compete in the open weight categories. Always thrown in with the monsters. 02 says, rather pulling Etienne, you should pull Larry or Daria Khan. I don't think so, 02. I'm sure both of them would pretty handily dust me, I think. Maybe Larry's too afraid now of an injury that I can do something, but I doubt it. And Daria Khan, that's not even a serious suggestion, is it? Vasily says, I think about Hermes Devon versus Lafan match, and I think Hermes done it better. Nathan says, great live, thanks for building some excitement for the event. You're very welcome, Nathan. Thank you for dropping by and being active in chat. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I hope everyone is gonna enjoy the event. I'm sure I will. Matic or Matic, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, says, where are you from, Arm Historian? It's kind of a running joke on this channel. A lot of people have guessed, and almost, yeah, very rarely do they get it right, so I'd love to hear your guess on where you think I'm from. Kazazuri says, haha, you can get Larry, Arm Historian, I know it. It's just because you keep losing to me, Kazazuri. It would be a good thing for you if I can beat Larry, but I'm sure I wouldn't be able to. Dadikian, not Dadiakan. I'll keep that in mind, Jack. Dadikian. I'll try to keep that in mind. Hey, Arm Wrestling fan says, what you doing, Army? Just an impromptu live. Arm Wrestling fan, another one of those great arm wrestling content creators who I'd love to do some more collabs with. But yeah. Yes, of course, this arm historian is clearly from the Andromeda galaxy, where they all have arms for heads. Keep it quiet, please. Yes, of course. You know what I'll have to do if you don't. Kazazuri says, for the record, he's like 3 weight classes above me. Keep that quiet too, Kazazuri. God damn it. Ah, you replied to me? Okay, I'm sorry, arm wrestling fan, that I didn't get back to you yet. I'll take a look at it after the live stream. But yeah, thank you guys as always. As I said, catch me live tomorrow. We'll talk about the event and how it went. And maybe some other stuff too if we get to it. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you all for coming. It's been great fun, as always. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. And until then, Arm Historian, out. Bye-bye.